Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. Heroic Siege of Ironforge has been a lot of fun. I made a guide video to this siege on the first day, and now I have been working on it a little bit more. The comps that I built on the first day are still perfectly valid, by the way, but I have a little bit more alternatives for you. So I've now done Thiefcatchers also with Tirion. I have Gelbin Mekkatorque done with Rend, and I also have an update on my Arthas build. The original Arthas build is still fine, but I also have a small variation to that as a bonus, so you can also do it in the other still two different ways. And then I have done Magni with Sneed. And using some different minis, so that if you don't have all of the minis in my original guide, then you can use these comps, hopefully, in order to get through the Heroic Ironforge. For Heroic Thiefcatchers, the idea with Tirion comp is that Tirion's heal cleanses poison. And once you have killed the leftmost lieutenant, then everything is going to have poison. All the enemy minis are going to have poison, so there's going to be so much poison coming at you. Priestess can cleanse poison, Tirion can cleanse poison, and these are just going to help your minis survive a lot longer. I also wanted to do this with something else than Swole Troll, in case you don't have Swole Troll with Meteor Elbow talent, so I did this with Abomination instead. They were pretty fun and relatively strong comp. I actually found when I did Thiefcatchers was actually the most difficult one of the three to get it right, because I saw that people very often were just pushing. But unlike in normal, where you can just push and even use cheat that and do stuff like that, in Heroic you really can't. You have to take it step by step. And once you already have a push going, then you want to send minis to the other directions, because all those minis are going to spawn in various positions in the game. And you want to have these small groups built around Abomination and then some anti-air units and stuff, so that when they spawn, they will just be immediately met and then fought against, and not just push at the boss. I found that whenever I had a partner who just kept pushing at the boss and not taking back our towers, if we lost them or something, then we tended to lose. And when we took it a little bit slower, then we tended to win. So it was really more about the strategy than about just comp itself. As for Heroic Mekkatorque, I think Arthas is clearly the strongest leader for Heroic Mekkatorque. Probably the strongest when you use Living Bomb, and I actually have some footage with Arthas with Living Bomb here. I didn't use Living Bomb originally, but Living Bomb is so good in the last phase, because you can, if you have Chain Reaction, you do need Chain Reaction talent, otherwise it's not great. But if you have Chain Reaction talent, you can just drop it in the middle pack, and then it's going to explode the entire wave that's coming every 35 seconds. So that's just wonderful. But I wanted also to do this with Rend, because Rend can also be its own Living Bomb. So then I have Living Bomb, and then I have more Living Bombs, and just a lot of Living Bombs. This was also a pretty fun one, and very effective one as well. With this final comp that I had, I did it 4 times, and I won 3 out of those 4, so it went pretty well. And finally, a Sneed build for Magni. I also wanted to do this without the Molten Giant with Bolster talent, just in case, because many people don't have the Bolster necessarily. So I wanted to use Swole Troll instead. So here's Sneed with Swole Troll. Then I have Meat Wagon, so that I can get some of that gold. If my partners then push the other way, I send Swole Troll the other way. Then I can send Meat Wagon to support the partner's push and hopefully get gold when towers fall. And I also have Execute, and I have Worgen. So I'm quite self-sufficient when it comes to killing the Firelord. Firelord does have to be targeting something else in order for me to get that Worgen out there to actually kill it by myself without using anything else. But still, pretty effective ways to handle the Firelord, get a lot of gold, also support my partner's push, and then some AoE damage also defending against the wolves. And I'm using Sneed with the Miner talent, by the way. Sneed mines the entire vein, and there's a lot of gold here to mine too, so I can also use my Sneed as a miner here. Pretty fun and effective comp overall. So let's take a look at all of these in action, and as a bonus, Arthas also with Living Bomb against Mekkatorque. Just some more options on how to handle Heroic Siege of Ironforge. Let's take a look in action. Alright, here we go, Heroic Thiefcatchers with Tirion. So first I do want to take all the towers, and then I actually want to try to fight against one of the lieutenants at a time, preferably, so that I would get one phase change at a time. Because there's going to be mini spawning when one of the smaller Thiefcatchers die, and then when phases are being pushed on the main Thiefcatcher. And I really don't want there to be like small Thiefcatcher dying and then phase being pushed on the main boss at the same time. That sort of thing. That is the sort of thing that loses you games. So first, just steady push. get all the towers, start fighting against some of these, start getting them down, handle the phase transition, and then work on from there. And once we're on the final boss, then we can start pushing a little bit harder on that. And there is a small downside to Tirion, because Tirion is a melee mini. And that means that actually when you have Tirion here, that means that the final boss is going to vanish a lot. Because it vanishes whenever it has 4 melee minis around it or more. Then, because there's Tirions and there's abominations, then the final boss is going to vanish, and vanish means that it teleports around the map. So then you will also want to have these smaller groups fighting all over the place. So ideally what I want to happen is I want to push a phase against one of these, and I want to be building groups around the map. So that because minis are going to be spawning around the map, then I want my minis to be around the map as well, so they will immediately be able to answer them. So here I'm saving a little bit of gold, and I'm waiting for the Thiefcatcher to die. Why won't it die? It just refuses to die. Come on, it should die soon. Alright, now. And now we get the face. And then I'm looking, okay, what do I need to do? That was actually a terrible, terrible blizzard for me. I figured that that blizzard would be the most impactful thing that I could do. And maybe it was if I had just hit it correctly. Anyway, this is looking quite alright. So far so good. We have all the towers. Nothing is coming at us from anywhere. Looks real nice. I want to get the chest in the middle, please. And then I want to start building up another push. Let's go. I would really... Oh, I hate it when they got to mine. Just trying to avoid them to get to mine there, but... Well, it's gonna be fine. Just a little bit of patience is needed now. Start mining a little bit. Get to work. Alright, alright. There's the second smaller Thiefcatcher. We can get to work on that one. Stabilize, control the map. Get that one down. That's the next plan. Now I'm reinforcing a little bit over there. But I would also love to have some minis also on the left flank. So that once the Thiefcatcher dies and all the things are going to spawn, then I would be able to fight them immediately when they spawn. That is the best opportunity that we have. And also one of the upsides of having the abomination with the poison talent here is that it's just going to poison all of those stealth device bandits. And when they get poisoned, they take damage and then they unstealth. Alright, we're pretty close to getting a phase. And as you can see, I reinforced the left side so that I would have stuff on the left, I would have stuff on the right. Now, I actually didn't have stuff on the right, I ended up having stuff in the middle. But that's okay. My partner also sent forces to support the right side, that's good. And we made very clean transition there. That was really, really nice. Alright, then we get the next phase transition. We're sort of ready. Look at the abomination with the poison. It's so strong against those device bandits. Some of the goblin sappers did survive though. But I'm working on that. Trying to get to a point where I can... Yeah, right. We're taking back the towers. Now I don't want to push yet. I want to stabilize this. Try to stabilize a little bit here. Yeah, still sending minis to different parts of the map. Not focusing too heavily on a single spot. Yeah, I'm reinforcing the left side now. Because the next time there's a phase transition, there's also stuff coming from there. And I want there to be strong minis. Okay. We got another phase transition. I have plenty of gold. I can do a little bit of blizzard to protect the left flank. And look at that. Yeah, beautiful. Just enough to protect that. Maiev coming through middle. Just enough to fight against Maiev. Now that was beautiful. Left is secure, middle is secure. Right side, Well, right side looks a little bit worse. I'm going to try to do something about the right side here. And looks pretty good. Alright. That's settled. Oh, there's a whole bunch of stuff coming. Now they all have stealth, because one of the small Thiefcatchers died. But overtime arrives, and overtime is really, really good, because now that means that we're going to have the income needed to just take control of everything. Beautiful harpy work from the Grommash player. Reinforcing the left side, push a little bit here. I am aware that the right side is now in some peril. I get rid of the ranged minis there. No ranged minis to support the bear. The bear alone is just not going to last. Alright. Grom player is pushing through the middle. That's totally fine. I'm defending the sides. They're pushing through the middle. Everything looks beautiful. And Grommash can deal some damage. That was actually really, really sweet. Very, very clean. As long as we actually get the boss to die. It managed to vanish to the side, but now there's a little bit of blizzard and stuff going in, so boom, down it goes. Alright, here we go. Heroic Gelbin Mekkatorque, and I'm teamed up with a Baron Rivendare. That's interesting. Let's see what sort of work Baron Rivendare is able to do here. So first I want to take the towers. I obviously want to have Rend on the board whenever possible, because Rend discounts all of my other flyers. Oh, that living bomb, that hurts a little. But then again, Rend is quite good with those. And then I have these drakes with Mother Drake talent, so I actually also send some wellpegs around the map, which can sometimes be useful. Plague Farmer, just an absolutely phenomenal mini in this one. Now we try to attack over there, facing some opposition from the Huntress. Alright, push is going against the chickens. I'm chilling a little bit. Seeing what happens. Where do I place my Rend? I don't want Rend to die too quickly, because if Rend dies too quickly, then I lose the discount. That's obviously not great. On the other hand, Rend, when it dismounts, it does have that living bomb as well, so it can potentially deal a lot of damage. Although those gnomes can be awkward. Oof. A lot of damage from the gnomes. Didn't get much value from the living bomb here. It's okay. We kill the chickens. Right, phase change. I want there to be another Rend as soon as possible. Thank you. Another Rend. Wonderful. We should be mining. Go, go, go. I really should. No, that's what was the Huntress. I couldn't mine immediately. Rend dismounted again with the living bomb, a little bit wasted there. But well, it depends. Sometimes you get into a really good rhythm and you get a ton of value out of those living bombs. Sometimes a little bit less. Alright, I'll put another Rend out there. I want to be a little bit at the back line. Don't want it to be too immediate. Robo gnomes, they keep spawning. Another train arrives, this time with some big bombs. And wellpacks dropped on the root or on top of the big bomb will destroy it, or will make it explode. If you shoot it down, it doesn't explode, it just gets destroyed. There is a difference. Now I felt like I had to blow up the living bomb there, but I'm not sure. That probably wasn't worth it. Let's see. Well, Rend is on foot on the side. We get another phase change. That's a little bit fast. I wasn't quite ready for that. Well, at least I have the Plague Farmer. Plague Farmer doing a phenomenal job against the left bomb. I blow up the right bomb because I saw that we had enough stuff in the middle, I believe, to handle the middle bomb. Yeah, alright. We managed to clear those bombs. That's good. More robo gnomes all the time. Yeah, all the time. They have that insane range. Look at them. Look at them shoot. They are pretty brutal. Anyway, we got another Rend out there. And sadly, the opponent gets to mine on the left now. That's not ideal. Should overall be fine. There's another phase coming soon, and I really should save a little bit to be ready. Trying to start saving now. Because I'm afraid that there's a phase coming, and if I'm not ready, that could hurt me. Alright, then I'm sending Rend. There's the small board wipe, it's just 8 radius. Small wipe. I had the gold for the bomb, and pow. The bomb took out most of the things. And I'm trying to get those. No, I didn't have the gold for the eggs. Rend died just too early. And that meant that when I dropped the eggs, because dropping something still makes the bomb explode. So, and it has a 6 radius explosion. So it was able to kill my things there. But anyway, we should be able to stabilize from here, I hope. Now my gold situation is not great. I have to hold now. I have to save, I have to wait for the train, and then I have to living bomb this train. Now I have living bomb chain reaction here, look at that. Pow. Kills everything. So that was very important. I knew, of course, that the gnomes would then get some free shots at the base. But if I can eliminate that wave that was pushing, that's going to buy us some time. And with that time, we're going to... Oh, that... I was trying to get my Drake out there so that the Griffin Rider would already start shooting base. But now that I was a little too early with the Drake. And then I lost it for nothing. Now I have Rend. Look at that. Rend bonus living bomb. Okay, it didn't kill everything, but it killed a lot of stuff. And thanks to that living bomb, we're just in a good position again. Alright, I want to get another Rend out there. Here we go, another Rend. Let's go. Another set of Robo-Gnome spawns. Okay, that's totally fine. I don't mind that. Nah, the living bomb is going to dismount Rend, I think. Yeah, it did. That was a little bit unpleasant. Another push coming. 4 gold. 5 gold. Again, patience. 6 gold. And pow. Huge living bomb. That did so much. And now we're on overtime. And overtime means that it will be easier for me to get enough gold to get another living bomb out there. So we should be in a very, very comfortable position from here. We're just barely holding on before the overtime. Now it should be much easier. I have a Rend on over there, and Rend is going to living bomb. Pow. That was actually not mine, was it? Anyway, things are really looking good now. Now the boss just does not have what it takes to survive anymore. We're getting poison in from the Plague Farmer. Rend is doing some beautiful tanking. And this Mekkatorque is going down. Alright, let's do Mekkatorque again, this time with Arthas. And the only difference between my original video and this Arthas is now that I've actually ended up replacing the whelp eggs with the living bomb. Why whelp eggs? Because I can use Batrider like this, and this means that I have more cheap minis, so that I can cycle more effectively to those living bombs. I originally thought that I still want the whelp eggs, so that I can drop whelp eggs on big bombs earlier, before living bomb really becomes a thing, but actually replacing the whelp eggs turned out to be the best thing, because look at how good that Batrider is. Batrider is doing some phenomenal things there. So now I'm sending Arthas from one side, Arthas from another side. Just casually chilling my enemies with the power. I mean, Arthas is so incredibly good in this one. Right. Some of the minis are going down, but it's okay. It's spectacular, really. We get a phase change though. So, okay, the first big bombs are arriving. Are we really, truly ready for this phase change? I sure hope we are. Unless there's some Arthas out there. They should help with this. Alright, looking good, looking good. Now that big bomb on the left, I kind of failed to stop it, didn't I? Just barely in time. Phew, but another phase change. And another phase change. And another... That's too many phase changes at once. But now I have the gold for the living bomb. Trying to... maybe had too many minis out there, because now my living bomb's a little bit ineffective. I wasn't expecting our minis to be able to do all that much. And then also failed. Also failed with the big bomb on the left. Alright, so now we're in a little bit of trouble. The phase changes went by really quickly. I could have played this better if I didn't use the living bomb, because I was saving for the living bomb. I thought, okay, 2 phase changes, I have to have a living bomb, but we actually had so many minis out there that they were able to handle it anyway. So if I had spent 6 gold on Arthas and some DPS, that would have actually been better than spending it on the living bomb. And now I'm in a position where I want the living bomb, so let's do the living bomb, chain reaction talent, pow 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 pow. And it really requires the chain reaction for it to be that good. Without chain reaction, it just is not on that level. Alright, then we'll start to work on stabilizing this, hopefully. Let's see if we can. Oh, those Robognomes. Doing a lot of work there. Our Ragnaros is going down. Yeah, Rag did go down. It didn't have the range to fight back. That was a little awkward. I'm getting some blast waves in. Okay, we lose both towers. Now, pushing faces a little bit too quickly. And we might have been able to get through that if I had just not used the living bomb at that point. But be it as it may, we should still be fine here. Because we have some gold. And now there's these nice waves coming and pow 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 pow. We get the good stuff. We get the good stuff rolling. We have the cycle going. And this is actually going to be fine. And fight back against those. I would need to cycle to another living bomb, I think. Cycling to an Arthas instead. Hopefully I won't get punished for that. So going in with an Arthas. Well, Mekkatorque is very low, and I have the Plague Farmer poisoning it all the time as well. So this Arthas plan might actually work. And it did. And Mekkatorque just going down. Alright, let's do Magni with Sneed. And I thought this was a really nice skill of Magni with Sneed, because I'm partnered with a General Drakizat. And it seems to me that this General Drakizat is using the full-on normal Magni team and strategy. So they're pushing through the middle. And I mean, that was the first thing that I tried when I started testing this, but unfortunately, because of the power of the Fire Lord, it just isn't going to work. However, I'm able to support it a little bit with some execute, and wow, no, I should have turned the arrow. Now we lost the chest. Should have sent the Drakizat on the other side. Yeah, too bad. I was a little bit too slow there. Either as it may, now we have Drakizat going to the right, not moving to the left, and my team going to the right, and I'm sending out a meat wagon to help the Drakizat. So that meat wagon can then also shoot at the tower, and hopefully that meat wagon is going to be able to get us some golding. Boom! There comes the gold. So I'm now getting gold from towers destroyed on both sides, because I have siege units on both sides, and that is really going to help. Okay, well, now I didn't have a siege unit to handle that, sadly. The living bomb there killed the wagon. Alright, then we get to work on the... sadly lost to the Fire Lord there. I just didn't have enough power because Firelord was focused on Sneed, but Sneed died so quickly that then Firelord can also shoot the Worgen because it one-shots the Worgen. So it really needs to be distracted for the Worgen to kill it. But if there's a Drakizet on the side and the Firelord starts shooting at Drakizet, then Worgen Execute is going to handle that Firelord really nicely. Then I'm going to start pushing at Magni. And that's a lot of damage on Magni. I'm already starting to be ready for all the guards that are going to spawn. So defending the bottom towers and working on retaking the top towers. Here we go, here we go. There's also a couple of Magni Bears. And there's the Firelord as well. I dropped an Execute, just getting a little bit of damage on the Firelord, getting a little bit of damage on those guards, because those guards now have 10.2 range. So they are going to outrange the tower really easily. I'm a little bit wondering what to do next. Getting a little bit hectic here. Pyromancer helps, but doesn't help enough. No, the Witch Doctor decides to target me. That's bad. Okay, I get rid of the Firelord finally. Left side is going fine. Look at the Sneed. Whoa, that's gold. Sneed, Miner Sneed coming in clutch. Look at the income from the miners. It's mining again. Look at the income from the Miner Sneed. That was beautiful. And then it's going to take a tower and it's going to give me more gold. Oh, more gold. Yeah, that's beautiful. We're in a bit of trouble there for a moment, but then all of a sudden Sneed mining, just suddenly grabbing 5 gold, 7 gold for both players, and boom, we're so back in the game. Alright, Firelord is here again. Too bad that it's shooting, Priestess with the shield. I was a little bit worried that the Worgen cannot survive because the Firelord is going to switch targets. I was hoping the Firelord, of course, that it would shoot Drakizet. Because if it shoots Drakizet, then that's going to be all good. Drakizet can tank a few hits from the Firelord, and then I'll have enough time to drop the Worgen. It did not do that. Either way, things are looking quite alright. We're pushing both sides. That's nice. They're really doing the normal strat, sending Drakizet teams through the middle so that they would be ready to kill the Firelord. Unfortunately, in Heroic, Drakizet cannot kill the Firelord like that. So, but I knew exactly what they were doing, and the strategy otherwise is still, I mean, it's still quite okay. Now I want to handle the Firelord, please. Yes, I really should. There we go. Firelord goes down. It did manage to do some harm before it went down, though. Now because I want to save some gold for when the phase change comes. But on the other hand, we would also need to get that phase change, and now we're just not pushing hard enough to get it. I could have probably executed for the phase change there. Either way, now we got it. Alright, beautiful. Sending. Groups on both sides to defend. Good, we defended the bottom towers. Oh, there was a Drakizet fighting for the top tower. That's also really nice. Now we entered final phase, which means that hammer toss is a thing. So now, as you can see there, the hammer flies towards the right. Wow. Every 9 seconds. Every 9 seconds, Magni is going to toss a hammer, and it's going to be tossed at the closest building you own. So, if the closest building you own is your base, then your base is going to take a lot of damage. And there I a little bit failed with the Worgen timing, which means that the Firelord is now alive. Tried to Worgen it again. Ah, we got it down. That's beautiful. Alright. And there's hammer tosses. But on the other hand, the hammer tosses also mean that I'm getting so much gold. Every time I need a meat wagon on the left. Yeah, now I got the meat wagon out there on the left. Hammer toss and the meat wagon is going to be able to contribute. Boom, boom. Yes, gold. Beautiful. Beautiful, sweet gold. As you can see now, even though Magni keeps tossing those hammers, the income income is just so high. And Sneed's mining too, so... Through all of those hammers, there's just... Our swarm is just growing stronger and bigger. Now there's another Fire Lord. Then send the Worgen with the Execute on it. And so this is really beautiful for the open queue. Because open queue, of course, your partner might not bring an Execute. So you can handle that. As long as your partner has like a meaningful army. And boom, Magni goes down. Sneed and Drekkisath. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.